back. I don't know what happened, TJ. I don't know what happened. Boy, you slam your finger in that door right there and you'll know it. Out here in the woodshed, it don't have a lot of... The crazy thing about it, Gary, is out here... Let me move this thing up a little bit. Out here in the woodshed... Out here in the woodshed, it don't have a lot of service out here. So I need to put a booster out here because right now it says I got like 3 bars on my Wi-Fi. So I need to put a booster out here. So I'm cutting up these are 1965 doors from the college. I used them for a lot of stuff, but I'm cutting all this stuff up. I got to clean this area up because winter's coming. And I got to start cutting wood and stacking wood and fill up this wood crib. This is my wood crib. So I'll fill this side up and I'll fill this side up. And I got a water stove right there. And that's how I heat all my water, my heat. I have central heat and air in my house, but I also have a water stove. So yeah, that's what I got too. Need to ask about. Oh, I'll show you. Hold on, let me cut this and I'll show you. Hold on. Let me cut it back. I'll try to show you without losing my signal, okay? All right, let me see if I can, where you at, Gary? All right, so I have a water stove, right? So this is what I have a water furnace, right? So this right here is a 200-gallon water stove. So that's the firebox. I fill all this up with wood and all that up with wood. And that firebox heats up my water. And then, man, I'm gonna try not to move so I don't lose a signal. That's how hot the water is. About 200 some degrees. And then this heats all the water to my house and my shop, and this also heats my house. So this is the water stove. The lines are buried in the ground, and it heats my house and my shop. Yep. And then I have solar. I got to hook these up. These are solar water panels that heats water. So here's what it is. So I'm gonna set this phone back up right here. So that's that. And then the way this works, is when the thermostat asks us for water or asks for heat. So the way this works is when the thermostat asks for heat, the circulator comes on and circulates the water, and then the blower motor comes on, or like the little turbo, it comes on, and then it just creates the firebox. So what I'm doing is I'm just cutting up cutting up this stuff, cutting it up. Yeah, so I'm cutting these, I'm hoping I can move this back over here. I need this right here. I'll check the comments in a minute. So we're cutting this door up. Actually, we're cutting all this stuff up. Let's see what it says. I don't never wear no shoes. Get him, TJ. Get him, TJ. Get him. Get him. Boy, that $15 Harbor Freight Sawzall is putting in work, TJ. That $15 Sawzall is putting in work. Hold on, you know what? I'm fixing to do something. Hold on a second. Where's it at? What's up, Square Body? What's up, Square Body? Hey, Nathan. Hey, Nathan, you in here, Nathan? Nathan Price. I'm cutting up scrap wood and stuff like that. Hey, Nathan, I'm going to do something for you. You ready? What's up, Lewis? I'm actually cutting up a bunch of scrap wood and doors and stuff like that. Putting in scrap, cutting up this wood and stuff. You see that, Nathan Price? You see what just happened? Yeah. Yeah, so you do your thing, Nathan. Just keep it respectful. No politics, no religion, nothing stuff like that. When in doubt, ask TJ. When in doubt, ask anybody else that's in blue. They'll let you know. They'll let you know. What's up, Calvin? Yeah, and subscribe. Yep. So what I'm doing is I'm cutting up. Yeah, no politics, no religion, no hate, no nothing like that. And then we'll go from there. Yeah. No, square body. When in doubt, gas it, baby. When in doubt, gas it. When in doubt, scat. So, all right. All right. So I'm gonna finish cutting up this stuff. So I'll check back. I can't see the chat from here. So let me get to going. Working all day long. Let me check and see. Yeah, everybody's good. Yeah, tell him, Metal. Tell him, Mel. I'm gonna say, hey, look, I'm gonna see if I can move this camera right on over here. I'm gonna see if I can move it over here to get in a different light. I'm hoping it don't glitch. When I get off of this live, I'm gonna order. Yeah. When I get off this live, I'm gonna order another Google nesting system. I'll order another Google nesting system, and I'll put some Googles out here. So, oh yeah, man, I don't never stop. I don't never stop. Never stop. Well, I tell you what. This $15 daggone Harbor Freight Sawzall and that $4 blade right there, boy. That son of a gun right there is putting in the work. Hey, is everybody still there? Can you still, is everything still coming through, or is it glitchy? Yeah, Mac, look at that blade. Mac, look at that blade right there. That son of a gun right there is business. Where at, TJ? Let's go get it. TJ, where it at? Let's go get it. Look at that son of a gun, man. That son of a gun. Yeah, $15 Harbor Freight. $15. In Georgia. Hey, what part of Georgia? What part of Georgia? I'm only 4 hours from Atlanta. I'm only 4 hours from ATL. I'm only like 4 hours from ATL. Is that light bothering y'all? If it is, I'll move. Talk to me, TJ. Talk to me. Text me, TJ. Text me later. That son of a gun right there. That son of a gun right there is eating, Mac. That thing right there is eating, boy. Look. That son of a gun's 3 fingers thick, boy. Hey, 84 Cuddy. 84, I am so sorry I missed your premiere. I hit a notification and it did not remind me. 84, I am so sorry. Next time, do me a favor. Text me when you have a premiere so I don't miss it, big dog. I am so sorry. I apologize for missing it. I went back and listened to that joint. I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. Oh, yeah, I'm always barefooted. Look, I'm always barefooted. Barefooted, boy. Barefooted. Barefooted. Yeah, everybody go over to 84 Cuddy, 84 Cuddy, and go check out his new song, Two Step. I'm working on a new joint too. 84. I'm working on a new joint. Sure enough. Sure enough. Yes, sir. Yeah, we're cleaning up the, I'm glad you're feeling better. I'm glad you're feeling better, Mac. Yeah, I'm cleaning up the woodshed because wintertime will be here for too long. And then I got to start cutting wood. And I got to start cutting wood and stacking wood because wintertime will be here for too long. Yeah, I'll get it. I'll do it. This stuff don't have to be perfectly cut straight. Let me show you why. It don't have to be cut perfect. The reason why it don't have to be cut perfect because that firebox is 28 by 28 by something. So it don't have to be let's leave the door open. It don't have to be 100% straight, you know what I mean? Yeah, Gary, look here. Hey, Gary, check this out. Gary, look. 84 Cuddy, Tulu TV, Mac, 87 SS, TJ, Square Body, Carolina Big, and Build on a Budget. If somebody that knows those people, can you put it in the chat? Can you put Build on a Budget, Metal Art Customs, 84 Cuddy, Tulu TV, 87 SS, TJ, Box Chevy, Square Body, Carolina Big, Impala J, Double Up Customs, Fly, Cars in the Cut, SS Gang, yeah. So Gary and Nathan. So this is the group. This is the solid group. 84 Cuddy, Tulu TV, Carolina Big, Square Body, Build on a Budget, Metal Art Customs, Grease Spot Garage, Double Up Customs, parentheses Fly, 87 SS Boy, SS Gang, and Impala J. So that's yeah. There you go. There you go. 84 doing it. There you go. 84 is doing it. Hey, Nathan and Gary, the links that 84 Cuddy's putting up, that's the solid gang. That's the solid group. We all support everybody in that group right there. We all yeah. So that right there, that's the group. So let me get back to cutting, and yeah, solid group. Now SS, he gets a little SS Gang. SS gang gets a little wild, you know, but he means well. He's just a little different flavor. But he's coming up, and cars in the cut. Cars in the cut. And then we'll go from there. So let me finish cutting this up. Just a friendly reminder. Just a friendly reminder. Just a friendly reminder. The ones that's new to the channel: no politics, no religion, no hate speech. We fun and games. You know, we pick a little bit, but no disrespect to nobody. Keep the chat clean. No vulgar language, no vulgar stuff like that. I welcome, you know, debate, whatever you want to debate. Right now I'm cutting wood up from my water stove, but normally we're in the shop working on cars, old school stuff. So no politics, no religion, no hate speech, no bashing nobody, no trolling, nothing like that. If you do, everybody in the blue is going to give you a warning, and then they're going to take care of you. My mods are the best. My mods are the best. And we can all pick, because most of my mods are ex-military anyway, besides just a couple here and there. So I wish I could move the camera over there, but I know if I move it over there, I'm going to lose service. So we're going to finish cutting this door up. I'm going to try it. Yeah, there's Carter getting ready. Getting ready for tater tots and oxtails, TJ. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, we're getting ready for them tater tots and oxtails. Yes, sir. Well, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Oxtails and tater tots. I wonder if I can... Man, I hope this thing don't glitch. Man, I hope it don't glitch on you, boys. I hope it don't glitch on you. Let's see what happens. I hope it don't glitch. I hope it don't glitch. I hope it don't glitch. If it glitches, I'll move it. Cleaning up, boys and girls, cleaning up. Man, oh man, that $15 daggone Sawzall and that $4 blade from Harbor Freight making light work. I might even try to build me a speaker box. Or a duck box, or a birdhouse, or maybe some rabbit boxes. And for you high class people, Hassenpfeffer. Cook me some Hassenpfeffer. How long have we been on here? 35 minutes. Fried rabbit. Father Time 57. Have you ever pressure cooked rabbit? Have you ever took a whole rabbit, you know, do what you're supposed to do and take the whole rabbit and put it in a jar and put it in a pressure cooker and pressure cook it? Easy, cars, easy, 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 easy. All right, let's check out. No. Hold on. Come on around here. Come on back. There you are. No, Father Time. No. I'm talking like pressure canning, like cooking, like canning. Like I do a lot of canning, like tomato sauce, stew beef, vegetables, salsa. You know, I do a lot of that, but I don't put it on here. But should start putting it on here. I might start putting on here. What I'm talking about is take a whole rabbit, quarter it up, right, and put it in a mason jar. Put your seasoning in it. Put a little bit of broth in it. A little bit of beef broth in it. Put the lid on it. Put it in a pressure cooker. Pressure cook it. Set that son gun on the shelf. And when you need to go get something to eat, you just take it off the shelf, warm it up, put a little bit of rice with it, and you're good to go. So I'll take deer meat or venison, and I'll cut it in 1-inch cubes. You know what? Let me just end this right here, and let me walk down here to the shop, and I'll tell you. I gotta put my chickens up. So look, if it glitches a little bit, look, I'm telling you, if it glitches a little bit, don't go nowhere, because I gotta cross the threshold to get to the booth. So it might glitch, but don't go nowhere, and then I'll tell you what I'm talking about. All right. All right, so what I'm saying, that's not what I'm saying. So what I do, so we on here for 30 minutes. So we'll talk about, y'all want to talk about food for 30 minutes? Y'all want to talk about food? All right, so what I'm talking about, what I'm talking about is taking deer season, September, dove season comes in, geese season comes in, deer season comes in, or bow season. And then October, duck season comes in. What I'm talking about is take a deer or venison and cube it up in 1-inch cubes, right? And then take a pint mason jar, right? And then put 1 pound, weigh it out, 1 pound, 1-inch cubes of deer meat, venison, right? Put it in the jar. Then put 1/8 of a cup of chicken broth, right? You don't have to, but put 1/8 of a cup of low sodium chicken broth. And then put your seasoning on top of the meat. So you got your jar, right? You got your jar, right? And you put it in there, and you leave about 1 inch of headspace, right? And you put your 1/8 of a cup of chicken broth. You can do beef broth if you want to. Don't use those little bouillon cubes. They're too salty, right? It just makes it too salty. So get you some low sodium chicken broth or beef broth and put 1/8 of a cup in there, right? Then on top of the meat, put your seasoning, whatever seasoning you want to put, right? You put whatever you season you want to put on there. Then you clean the lid. You clean the lid with white vinegar. You do all that stuff. You put it in the cup, or you put the lid on there, and you put it in your pressure cooker. I have an All-American pressure cooker, which is, it's a cast aluminum. You can put 16 quarts. You can put 16 pints or 16 pints or 8 quarts in the jar, right? So with that being said, you take that meat and you put it in that jar and you put it in the pressure cooker and you pressure cook it. I'd have to look at my notes. I think it's 90 minutes. You pressure cook it, and then you let it cool down on its own, and then you take those mason jars out, those cannon jars, you take them out, and the meat will be cooked. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll put some pictures in my community post after this live, and I'll show you what it looks like before and after. The meat is done, and you could eat it with no teeth, no teeth. And then you just set it up on the, you clean it, you take the ring off of it. A lot of people, when they do their canning, they'll leave the ring on it. I take my ring off, I clean the lid. Don't break the seal, but I take the ring off, and then I date it, all right? So let's say I done some on September 15th, and it came out of the pressure cooker at 8 p.m. I put September 15th at 8 p.m. Then I'd set it up on the shelf, and that's it. So if you wanted to have some stewed beef and rice, or stewed beef and mashed potatoes, or whatever, that is 1 pound of cooked stewed beef. And that 1 pound cooked down is 2 servings. And somebody says, why don't you do a big jar? Well, if you do a big jar, then you got to eat all of it. So if you do it in small pint jars, if you heat up 2 pint jars, just open the lid, pop the lid off, pour it in a pot, bring it up to a warm simmer. Cook it. By the time the rice is done, the meat's warmed up, pour it on top of it, you're good to go. You can do, you can't recant it. You can't recant it. And once you put it in the refrigerator, you got like 3 or 4 days to eat it in the refrigerator. And the reason why I take the ring off of it, if the seal breaks, let's say for whatever reason the seal breaks and the ring's not on it, it'll pop up and you'll hear it, boop, it'll pop. If the ring is still on it, you won't never hear it release. I've been in the bed at night and hear them go, doop, and it would be like spaghetti sauce or pizza sauce or salsa. And salsa, anything acidic, builds up a lot of pressure. But I've only, in the very, very beginning, I mean, I've been doing this stuff since I was a kid, like 8, 9, 10 years old. So, and you can do a whole rabbit that way. So you could take a whole rabbit. There's people that raise meat rabbits or wild rabbits. You can take a whole rabbit, do the same thing, put it in a jar and pressure cook it. And it's just like salmon. The bones are so soft you can eat them. I mean, they're just like salmon patties. You have to burp. So spaghetti sauce, pickles. It took years. It took years to figure out how to do pickles without them being soft, right? It took years to do cucumbers in the pickles, in the spears, and in the chips. Hot peppers, jalapeno peppers. You can do sausage. You can pressure cook anything as long as you follow the rules. Green beans. Not this year. We didn't plant a garden this year, and the year that we didn't plant a garden, it rained every freaking day. So the reason why we didn't plant a garden is because I usually plow up my yard and I plant a garden or do whatever. But not last year, but the year before last, I put up over 100 quarts of green beans, 100 quarts of green beans, 100 quarts of tomato sauce, like tomato stock, like for soup, peppers, hot peppers. We don't do a lot of sweet peppers. Hot peppers, like hot stuff, chow, pickled cauliflower, broccoli. You know, did y'all know that broccoli, cauliflower, and Brussels sprouts are man-made? You won't find broccoli or cauliflower or Brussels sprouts growing wild in the woods. You just won't do it. It's man-made. Deep freezers. I don't do deep freezers square body because, man, even if you got generators and the power goes out, when you freeze meat, it doesn't matter if you vacuum pack it. About 2 years is about all you're gonna get out of it because it gets freezer burnt. So I would much rather process my meat in 1 pound increments and pressure cook it and be done with it. The cow is man-made too. So also, freezer burn. Also, pintos. So with pintos, see, I can pintos, black eyed peas. So with pintos, you can pre-soak the pintos. Nathan, you can take fresh green beans out of the garden, like not store-bought, but out of the garden, and cook them versus buying the green beans in the grocery store or the big box store, and they are completely different. Completely different. It's just completely different. So with pintos, you can do pintos. So you do pintos in the pint jars or the quart jars. If you do pintos, it's 1 cup. So here's the thing: for a quart is 1 cup of dry pintos. So, see, metal, with pintos, I pre-soak the pintos and I'll bring them up to a boil, like a rolling boil. Bring them up to a rolling boil for like 5 minutes, and then bring them down to a simmer. And what that does is, if you bring them up to a rolling boil, the pintos, 1, get the gas out of them, and 2, it preheats them so you can can them, right? Then you take 1 cup of pintos and put it in a 32-ounce jar. And then you put your canning salt, and if you want to put a little bit of fat bad or some ham hock slices or whatever, you can put it in there. And then you fill it up. You fill the jar up with water, and you leave about 1 inch of headspace, right? 1 inch of headspace. And then you pressure cook that. And then you'll have 32 ounces of pintos. If you want to put onions in them, like fresh onions or something like that, you can do that too. So man, I can everything. Meat, vegetables, salsa, spaghetti sauce, chicken stock, pizza sauce, do chicken broth. Yeah, Smithfield ham and onions. Oh yeah, man, that's it. That's it. So you can really, it's a lot of work. I usually come out here in the shop, get everything prepped up, and then start canning. And I got all my stove stuff. I bring it out here and I do everything out here in the shop. And Pal Jay mentioned that I should probably start doing that, and I might do that. I might start doing that. Doing some canning and stuff. Just show you how to do it on the other side. I mean, I know it says JG Innovation Garage, but man, I do so much stuff, it ain't even funny. And some of the stuff I don't even put on the channel because it's not car related. And yeah, jelly too. Yeah, jelly, strawberry, jams, preserves, everything. Hey, there's no S on it, man. Why does everybody put S on innovation? There's no S on it. It's like there's no S on Walmart's. It's not Walmart's, it's Walmart. It's Walmart. It's JG Innovation. Innovation. There ain't no S on it. There's some wild blueberries, Chris Fisher, right here on the back of the property. There's probably about 40 yards of wild blueberries back here on the property. Yeah, so before my brother committed suicide, we used to get two hogs. We used to get 2 hogs in early spring, and he had a lot at his house that was probably 20 by 20. And he'd have those 2 hogs in there, and he would go to all the produce stands. He would go where he needed to go and he would get all the rotten fruit and the produce and all that stuff, and he'd go to the independent grocery stores. Very seldom would he feed them any feed, any sweet feed or any corn mash or anything like that. And we would raise those hogs all the way up until winter, all the way up to winter. And then we would wait for a cold, we'd watch the weather, and we'd wait for a cold snap to come. And then we'd take one hog out and we'd do what we had to do. And we would make fresh sausage right there. We would make mild and hot right there. We'd grind, he had a big grinder. We'd make sausage right there, and we'd put it in 1 pound Ziploc bags, double sealed. And we would sell it for like $10 a pound. It was like $9 a pound. $10 a pound fresh sausage. And we would sell enough sausage off of one hog to pay for both hogs and feeding those hogs all year. And then we would make side meat in the smokehouse. We would make side meat, fat back. We'd make hog jows. We'd make bacon. We'd do all that. And in the salt house, I got pictures of that too. We do tenderloin and fat back and all that stuff. Side meat, we do every bit of that. Every bit of that. Yeah, hog head cheese. And there would be people that we would let people know, and there would be these two little ladies, they would show up and they'd want the head. They'd take the head, the feet, the heart, the liver. I mean, they would take everything, right? They would take it all. And then they would take that, and then we would keep the rest of it, and they would go make head cheese and all that stuff, man. And I run into those ladies a couple of weeks back, and they said, man, you sure do hate about your brother. And I said, yeah. She said, you probably ain't never gonna kill a hog. And I said, no, probably not by myself. I said, it's a lot of work. And I said, my brother had all that stuff, and his kids got it, and they don't care nothing for it, and then they sold it, and you know, it just is what it is. But here's the trick on your meats. Like when you're doing your meats in a smokehouse. So we would take brown sugar, cayenne pepper, black pepper, and salt, and a little bit of sugar, and we would mix it in clean 5-gallon buckets, right? So we would buy cayenne pepper, black pepper, salt, sugar, and brown sugar, and we'd put all that together in a clean bucket, and we'd mix all that up. And then on the table, we would lay on the tables at my great uncle's, which is right down the street in the smokehouse. On the table, like I say, I got pictures I can put in the community post. On the table would be at an angle, right? And at the bottom of the table, there'd be a trough, a hole in it, right? So we would take and we would lay burlap bags, like pinto bags, right? We would go to the feed store and get fresh pintos, and you get the burlap bags. We take the burlap bags and we would lay on we'd lay on the rack, right? Then after you took the pinto, after you took the burlap bags and laid on the rack, you would make your salts, right? You'd mix your salt, your black pepper, your cayenne pepper, and all that, whatever spices that you wanted. But you had to make sure you use cayenne pepper and black pepper and salt. You had to have those three things. Now, if you wanted to add other stuff, you could. Then you would take and make a bed of the salt, the cayenne pepper, and the black pepper, and you would just cover it. Then you'd take your meats and you'd lay your meats on that bed, and then you would then you'd come back and you would bury it again in that black pepper, cayenne pepper, cannon salt, and all your mix you'd lay on top of it. Then we would take newspaper, we'd go to the newspaper stand, get old newspaper, and you would lay newspaper on top of it, and then we would just lay burlap bags on top of that. And this thing would be on the angle like this, right? And you would then, what you would do is you'd my great uncle had his firebox in the ground, and it was a pretty good ways from the smokehouse. You would build a fire in that thing to just smolder, and then use like hickory or cherry wood or pecan or whatever wood that you want. Most of the time around here it was black walnut or hickory or something like that. And you just build you a fire and you just let it just smolder, right? And that smoke, they call it cold smoke, right? Cold smoking or cold. And then that smoke would just go through there, and that smoke would keep the bugs out, right? And then the cayenne pepper and the black pepper would keep the bugs off the meat. And I can't remember the days, I'd have to go look at my book. But every now and then you'd go down there and you'd check your stuff, and you check it, you'd re-salt it, and you'd have to break the salt. You'd have to take this, my brother had this little hammer, and a little wooden mallet hammer, and it had like some spikes on the end of it. And you have to go in there and break the salt up because what happens is, we do that too, Chris. I got buddies that do that, and you got to have a Bowie knife. You can't take no gun or nothing like that. You got to take a Bowie knife. And I got some videos of that too. I can send it to you. And then you'd break the salt up, and then you'd re-salt it, and then you'd go in there and you'd check your meats and you flip them, and you have to leave it so many days, whatever you was making, and go from there. I really miss that stuff, man. I really do. Good times, man. Good times. Oh yeah, wild hogs yeah, they ruthless. We got them around here. Yeah, we got them right here. Chris, I'll send you a video. I got an outdoor page. It's called War Pig. It's called War Pig Compound Outdoor Ventures, and it's on Facebook. But I don't put nothing on it no more because I got flagged so many times. I just stopped. I used to do all my hunting stuff, all my canning stuff. I used to do every bit of that stuff on that page, and it just got hit so many times, man. People get upset, whatever. So I just stopped posting. But there's videos on there of canning, of fishing, duck hunting, geese hunting, hog hunting. It's a War Pig Compound Outdoor Ventures on Facebook. So that's that. But I really do the processing of hog meat and stuff like that. It's good. It's good stuff. Yeah, you think about it. You think about it. If a recipe calls for four large eggs, right? 4 large eggs. If you're making a cake or making any kind of pastry stuff, and it calls for 4 large eggs, but then it says if you're using farm-raised eggs, you can use 2. Why is that? Why is that? Why do you think? Why do you think that? Why, if you could use like my yard eggs, so I let my chickens out, and they organic is crazy, man. Y'all go to the store and buy organic eggs. Those eggs come from the same egg. They're caged, right? And they're fed. My chickens ain't fed. I let my chickens out and they bug. Whatever they find, they eat. Frogs, lizards, spiders, crickets. They eat it. And somebody's gonna say, man, rats. And he's like, no. Oh yeah. Tina, that Polish hen, that son gonna eat a rat. That son gonna eat a rat in a heartbeat. She took a rat away from Hawkins one day, took that son gun right from her. She took that rat away from Hawkins and whooped his ass and took it from him and ate that son of a gun. So that would be wild organic eggs, because don't feed them nothing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they just whatever. They eat little frogs, lizards, crickets. When I push mow, they follow me in the yard when I'm push mowing, and they follow me and they chase crickets and bugs and and lizards, and yeah, it's crazy, man. That is organic to me. Chicken is a yard cleaner if you can keep the hawks and fox out. Mossy, I don't have no issues with that, and you think I would because I have no neighbors, none whatsoever. I'm surrounded by like 1,000 acres, and I don't have any issues. I don't have no issues with brown crows or foxes or anything like that. What in the world are y'all talking about? Hey, hey, Mossy, I had a video one time on my outdoor page on Facebook when they cut the timber. So when we cut the timber, and you could see, so up the dirt road, there was field rats, pretty good sized rats. I mean, they might be the size of like a little one. They might be the size of a 1 pound. They might be the size of a hot dog bun, right? About a hot dog bun. And they up that dirt road about 50, 65, 75 yards. So I'm gonna try to say what I can say without saying what I gotta say. I was sitting underneath the canopy up here, and I wasn't videoing it. I was just taking pictures, and I was on pest control, and I had corn up the dirt road to catch deer crossing the road, and those field rats were in the road about 75 yards, and I was taking those rats out with the little pew pew, right, and just sitting here just having a ball, and I posted a picture, a still picture, not a video, a still picture. Said Orkin Pest Control ain't got nothing on me, right? Ain't got nothing on this Ruger. I got flagged, and that page got banned. That channel got blocked for 30 days because I had pictures of me taking out rats at 75 yards of my little Ruger. So I just quit. Yeah, I went to Facebook jail, sure did, for 30 days. And seeing the bad thing about it, Cars, is I have a personal page, I have my outdoor page, I have my shop page, and then I have the Pine Straw page. When they blocked that one page, they blocked all pages, and I could not do nothing. And I wasn't pushing YouTube like I am now. I could not do nothing for 30 days. And my Facebook page has got about 20,000 followers on Facebook. On my shop page on Facebook. The only thing I do on Facebook page is just post pictures. I don't do lives. I do shorts, but I don't do lives or nothing like that because Facebook, yeah, I went to Facebook jail. So I don't do anything like that no more. I don't do anything. Man, I had a video, I filmed on a GoPro of us going geese hunting. And I had a GoPro on the end of the, I had one on my head, on my hat, I had one on my chest. And man, we flat rolled, boy. And they didn't like that neither. Don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. Yeah, they got me. So I just stopped, man, because that was just for fun and recreational. My shop page is my business page. So when that recreational page, that War Pig Outdoor, War Pig Compound Outdoor Adventure, when that page flagged my business page, it's not fun no more. I just stopped. Yeah, I just stopped. I mean, man, I had all kinds of stuff on there. And then you get on, and see what would kill me, man, what didn't make no sense is girls can get on Facebook and be half naked. And it's okay. But I got a video on us, you know, taking out some ducks coming in early in the morning in the swamp, and that's not good. You know, that's not good. But you can have, you know, a half-naked woman on Facebook doing whatever, and that's okay. But somebody flags me because I'm in the swamp with my dog and we're taking out some ducks, you know, and having a good time. Yeah, it just didn't make no sense to me at all. I appreciate it. I just looked up. It's 66 minutes. I appreciate it. I'm glad everybody tapped in. I'm glad everybody had a good afternoon. My phone is blinking and my little nimble is blinking. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. See the lights blinking. So this is what I have my phone on. This right here is a magnet. So let me show you. So this right here hooks to the back of my phone, and then this right here is a tripod, and it is going bananas. It's going bananas. And this extends out right here. This extends out, and then that's that. But yeah, so I just let TJ. I just pick my battles, and that's not a battle I want to pick. So boys and girls, I appreciate every single one of you. I'll tap back in tomorrow and see what everybody's doing on Sunday. I appreciate every single one of you tapping in on Saturday evening. I appreciate everybody tapping in earlier today. I just want to let y'all know I really appreciate every single one of you. If nobody says you're special and if nobody appreciates you, remember, JG says, I appreciate you. If you feel like that you are selfless, or if you feel like that times are hard and you're going through something and you don't know how you're going to make it and you need somebody to talk to, like I'm being for real, y'all. I'm being for real. This is not ha funny. I'm being for real. If you're going through something and you don't know how to handle it and you want to talk to somebody, like literally, you want to talk to somebody with no judgment, no nothing. If you really want to talk to somebody, reach out to me. It's not hard to find me. You can email me. My email's in the daggone link. It's jginnovationgarage@gmail.com. You send me an email. You want me to call you, I'll call you. If you want to sit and talk about it, I don't care what if you going through, I'm going to get upset. If you going through hard times emotionally, spiritually, physically, and mentally, and you want to talk to somebody with no judgment and just put it all on the line, I'm telling you right now, from my lips to God's ears to your ears, call me. We can talk about it. I promise you. And I won't tell nobody nothing about it. It's an NDA. Whatever we talk about is between me and you. I'm telling you. And I'll tell you this right here before we get going. 2 things I'm going to tell you real quick. 2 things. A man and woman came to my shop from New Jersey one time. Drove all the way from New Jersey to my shop. From New Jersey. I'm in North Carolina. Drove all the way from New Jersey. Got a hotel room uptown. Spent the night at the hotel room. Came to my shop the next day. Came here, and I thought they wanted to talk about cars. They actually got here, and we talked about nothing for an hour. We literally talked about nothing. It was like a Jerry Seinfeld show. We actually talked about nothing. And then I looked at him, and he's probably watching this. He watches me, and every now and then he'll text me. He told me that he lost his son. He was in his 60s. He lost his son in Afghanistan, and he didn't know how he didn't know how he was going to make it. And he lost his son. Been a pretty good while, 2 or 3 years. Said that he quit his job. He don't work. His wife had to go back to work. His wife had to go get a second job. He felt less as a man. He didn't know how he was going to make it. He felt useless, and he just couldn't make it through the day. This is God honest truth. God honest truth. And I looked at him, and he looked at me. He was all upset. His wife was sitting there. She was crying. Never seen these people ever before in my life. Came to my shop. We were sitting right there underneath that canopy. And I looked at him, and this is what I told him. I'm just going to call him, I'm going to call him Bob, right? I'm going to call him Bob for this so I can have a name. I looked at Bob and I said, Bob, if you're thinking about taking the cowardly way out and doing something to hurt yourself or checking out on your own, that is the most spineless, selfish, self-centered, cowardly, bitch-ass way to handle it. That's what I told him, standing right there in front of his wife. I says, and he looked at me, and he says, you are the same person you are online as you are in person. He says, I don't know how you get up every day and do what you do. You buried your son 2 days after your birthday. You buried your brother 6 months after your son died. And you still get up every single day and go to do what you got to do. He said, dude, I don't know how you do it. And I looked at Bob and I said, Bob, I don't have no other choice. I said, now to my defense, I did take a break 1 year. My son died January 28, 2019. We buried him on February 5th. My birthday's on February 3rd. Buried him 2 days after my birthday. Buried him in my yard. I weed eat around my gravestone every week, fellas and girls. I weed around my gravestone where it's got my name on my gravestone. If that don't put shit in perspective for you, ain't nothing gonna put you in perspective. And I told him, I said, I took 1 year off, 1 year off, 1 year. Done the bare minimum I could do to take care of my family. Lived on savings. 1 year after my son died, I went to the college and I told them they wanted me to come back to work. I told them I'd come back to work on one stipulation. I want to start a scholarship called Forever Six. Start a scholarship called Forever Six Scholarship, right? Forever Six, right? I said, I will come back to work part-time and I'll donate all the money I can donate to my son's scholarship to help other people and do that. And I came back and I started grinding. And I've always worked 2-3 jobs. I worked at Petty's Garage. I worked at Randolph Community College. I worked at MCC and I worked at my shop. 4 jobs all the time, wide open, every day, all day. Now I'm just here at my shop. And I substitute half-time whenever the school needs me. I told Bob, I said, you need to find a hobby, do something, build bird boxes, build bird houses, go down to the local Y, give out free food. You need to do something other than sitting at home on your thumbs and letting the devil run crazy in your head, because you will go batshit crazy if you don't do something. Go take a class at the college in daggone New Jersey, learning how to build fucking bird boxes or something. Do something. And then he told me down there at camp at Fort Bragg, they were going to have a memorial thing for his son and the other guys that got killed in Afghanistan. And he said, I don't think I'm going to be able to go. I said, you need to go. Because there's people there that's going through the same thing you are, but they're all going through a different thing than you are. And if you don't understand that, you're not going to understand anything. Bob lost his son, and there's other people that lost their sons too, and daughters. They're going through the same thing, but they're going through something different. You're the same, but you're not the same. But you have something that you can connect and bond to, and maybe it can help somebody out to go down there and share the experience and cry and laugh and be mad. Be mad at the world, man. Be mad. I'm mad. I'm mad. How can a perfectly 6-year-old little boy, healthy as all get out, get a stomach bug, and 12 hours later it kills him and he stops breathing? And we're not even going to get into all that. But how can that happen? I don't know. I'm mad. And you have a right to be mad. Bob shook my hand. He hugged me. And he left. This was like during the summer. At Christmas, I get this package in the mail from Bob. Sent me this care package in the mail. They made an ornament for Owen, my son, they made an ornament. Sent me some fresh molasses from upstate. And he sent me a fucking bird box. He started making birdhouses. It looked rough. Bob, if you watching this, his name ain't Bob though. Bob, if you watching this, that bird box is sitting in my house on my counter, decorated. My wife decorated it. I don't think it would make it outside. It was rough. But he done something. He put something together. And every now and then, Bob would text me, and I'll text him back, check in on him. It's been a few years now. He's probably in his mid-60s, around 65. And I stay in contact with him. And every now and then, he'll text me, and he'll be in a bad situation, a bad place. And then we'll talk, and then he'll get back where he's at. That's one story. I have a whole busload of stories. The last story I'm going to tell you is a man calling me from South Africa one time. South Africa. He called me 2 or 3 times, and when he called me, I didn't answer because it had a weird-ass number. And then he eventually texted me and said, man, will you please answer the phone? And he called me back, and I answered it. And I said, hello, and he told me who his name. He said, hey, I'm such and such. I said, how are you doing? He said, I'm doing fine. I said, what can I do for you? And he told me his name and blah, blah, blah. And he had this crazy accent. And I said, man, where are you from? And he said, I'm from South Africa. And I said, you're from where? He said, South Africa. And I said, you mean South Africa like the continent? Or you mean like, is there a place in the United States called the South Africa? He's like, no, I'm in South Africa, down at the bottom at the point where Elon Musk is from. I said, oh, shit, okay, cool. I said, what can I do for you? Well, at first, the icebreaker was he wanted me to help him set up his air compressor in his shop because he's seen one of my videos on how complex I had set my air compressor system up here. And he wanted to ask me how in the world could he set his air compressor up so he wouldn't get so much moisture and water in his lines. And I point blankly said, there's nobody in South Africa that can help you? And he's like, no. And I'm like, well, I don't mind helping you. I said, but I don't know what you got because it's hard for me to see because there's nothing there, right? We on the telephone, right? So we talked about his air compressor and this and that and little drop things here and there and trying to do this, try to do that. But see, boys and girls, that was the icebreaker. It didn't have nothing to do with the air compressor. Didn't have anything to do with the air compressor. And then he told me, he says, I'm sorry, my condolences for your son. And I said, man, I appreciate it. Thanks a lot. I wish no person on the planet should have to bury a child. Nobody. I don't care how mean they are. I don't care how ugly they are. I don't care how hateful they are. I don't care if they're poor. I don't care if they're rich. I don't care nothing. No parent should have to bury a child. Period. Zero. Zilch. And then he tells me that he's been married for 35 years. Him and his wife had no kids because he couldn't have kids. And 3 months passed, he lost his wife. His wife died. And he says, my house is empty. I don't know what to do. I'm trying to do stuff to keep myself busy, but I just don't want to do nothing anymore. I don't want to go on. And I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm tired of getting up every day feeling this way. I'm tired of not being able to go to the store. I'm tired of not being able to do anything. I'm tired of trying to do something different because I feel guilty on making new memories because my wife's not here. I lost my best friend. Been married for 35 years. And I just don't know what to do. So I thought I'd reach out to you and see if you would take the time out of your day to talk to me. I said, man, what are you going to talk about? I got all the day. I got all the time in the world, man. That's all I got is time. He said, well, I know you're a busy man. I said, dude, I can make money in my sleep. What do you want to talk about? Me and that man talked on the phone for 5 hours. 5 hours I talked to that man on the phone. He cried, he laughed, he cried, he laughed, he cussed, he was mad, he was upset. He was, for 5 hours, me and that man talked. And I just told him how I do what I do every day. And what works for me probably won't work for you. And I'm not telling everybody to tell you this to get old pitiful me. I'm not. I'm a big boy. I can take care of myself. And I told him, I said, you can call me anytime you want to. I don't care if it's day or night. Text me. I don't care if it's 2 o'clock in the morning in Africa and whatever time it is here. I don't care. Text me. I'll call to you. Because I'd hate to know if that man reached out to me and I didn't answer the phone and that day was the last day he was going to give up. That was the last day he was going to give up. And he couldn't get me on the phone and he decided to check out and pop smoke. And then I find out about it later on, I would feel bad. So take 10 minutes out of your day and help somebody if somebody's asking for help. And check on people when you ain't heard nothing from nobody. Do a welfare check on somebody. I checked on 87 SS Boy the other day. I said, hey man, I ain't heard from you. Holler at me. And he texted me back and he said, I'm good. I appreciate you checking in on me. That man from South Africa texts me probably 2 or 3 times a week, checking in. Hey man, good morning, brother. I hope you have a blessed day. I appreciate you. And I texted him back and I said, holler if you need me. That's what it's about. That's what it's about. That's why I do what I do. And when I said earlier, there's things in the background that people don't even know that I do. Some people think I'm obnoxious. Some people think I'm arrogant. Some people think I know it all. People think I'm just old country buck from the sticks. Some people think that I'm just a bearded, barefooted guy, whatever. You can whatever you want to think. You only know like 2% of what I do. Only 2% what I do. Only like 2%. There's so much stuff. And I'm not telling you this to get a pat on my back and give you an attaboy. You know, I'm not trying to boast myself up or boast my ego self up. I'm telling you to tell you this. Maybe somebody can hear this and they say, damn, somebody's got a little bit worse than me. So I am extending an olive branch out to anybody. If you having trouble and you got shit going on and you just need somebody to talk to, if you just want to talk to somebody and just somebody just to listen, if you just want me to hum on the other end like a damn fax machine, I'll do it. Email me, jginnovationgarage@gmail.com. Send me an email and we'll go. I'm not hard to find. All you got to do is Google me. All you got to do is Google me. I'm like the first 15 on Google. I'm not hard to find. So, let me catch up on these comments right quick because I wasn't looking at them because I get sidetracked. I don't know what I would do. You'd have to lock me in the daggone. Shannon, I am so sorry for that. You'd have to lock me in the loony bin. I got 3 sons. I got 3 boys. My 2 oldest boys and my little boy. I got 3 boys. I'll always have 3 boys. I don't know what I'd have to be medicated. I'd have to be medicated. And for somebody saying I don't take for just for the record, I don't take anything. I don't even take an aspirin. I don't take no Tylenol. I take an allergy pill. I don't take nothing. I don't take any meds whatsoever, none. I don't take nothing for pain. I don't take anything. I don't take the VA tried to give me all this shit when Owen died, and I said, blow it out your ass. No, nope. I don't take anything, nothing. This is the way I am. I've always been like this. I've been wide open. I've been wide open. This is how I am. I don't take anything. I don't take no meds, no nothing. I don't smoke. Every now and then I might take a little drink. I used to drink like a fish in the Navy, but not so much no more. But I've never smoked, never in my entire life, ever. But every now and then I might take a little drink, like a little swip. A subscriber gave that to me on my birthday about 6 or 7 years ago, and it's still sitting there with dust on it. So just to let you know, But buttermilk and beets. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And sorry, man. I am so sorry for that. Impala J and Nathan, just to let you know, when I took a piss this morning, it was beet red, baby. Beet red. I was pissing beet juice this morning. All right, boys and girls, I've been on here for 86 minutes. I appreciate every single one of you for tapping in. Hey, look, Monday morning, 10 o'clock. Monday morning at 10 o'clock, just to let you know. Monday morning, 8 o'clock. Or Monday morning, 10 o'clock. We're going live to pull the engine transmission. Look at that right there. Look. Look. Y'all see that right there? Look, 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 look. Where'd that some gun go? Where'd he go? I mashed that son of a gun. I mashed him. Got him. I rolled him up like a dish rag. Oh, there he is. There he is. I told you I got him. I told you I got him. Right there he is. I told you. I don't got my damn spider sense. So I told you I mashed that son of a gun. I mashed that son of a gun flat. I told you. Boy, pop, 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 pop. Monday morning, 10 o'clock, going live, pulling the engine transmission out, and then we'll take a break, and then I'll come back at 1 o'clock, and then we'll go from there. Remember what I said, boys and girls, don't worry about the man up the road or down the road. Sweep off your own front porch while sweeping off anybody else's, and I appreciate every single one of you. Oh, let me start over. Don't worry about the man up the road or down the road. Sweep off your own front porch while sweeping off anybody else's. Put God first and let Lisa and drag. Peace on the chicken grease. I'm out. Oh, yeah. He didn't know what was coming, did he? Chop, chop, chop. Y'all want me to eat? He didn't know what was coming. He didn't know what was coming. He didn't know what was coming. He didn't know, but he found out. He didn't know, but now he knows. Remember what I said, boys and girls, don't worry about the man up the road or down the road. Sweep off your own front porch while sweeping off anybody else's.